All right, guys, I have to make a short video here to show you something on the synthetic to get it down to where you can factor it, because you can't always factor by grouping. All right, and so let's look at number 3. I'm going to give you an example here because the highest degree that we have is a 4 on this worksheet, so this should apply to every other single one. Okay, so you see they've given you 2 factors that you can use. Normally we were looking at 1, and so we would have, let's say we would have taken this, set it equal to 0 and solved it. Let me just do that. So x minus 3 is equal to 0. Solve it by adding 3, and then x would be equal to 3, right? So we take that 3, we look here and see if this is counting down. 4, 3, 2, 1, constant. It is, so we don't have to place any zeros in there. So we have a 1, 3, negative 7, negative 27, negative 18. Draw our line there. Put our box for a remainder. Then we automatically drop the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Negative 7 plus 18 is 11. 11 times 3 is 33. Oops. Negative 27 plus 33 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. It's 0. Okay, so this is when we would have added our x's. So this would be 1 less than the highest degree here. So x to the 3rd, 2nd, x to the 1st, and then the constant. But since we're being provided with 2 factors, we're going to do exactly what we did right here, and we're going to do it using this x plus 1. So you take your x plus 1 is equal to 0. Solve that. So we know this is, so that's a subtract 1. Subtract 1. That's going to be x is equal to negative 1. Okay. So now we go down here and we take that negative 1 and we do the synthetic division again with the new numbers, not including the remainder. Okay. And then we do this. So same exact thing. You already know how to do it. You just do it another time with the other factor. So what happens? This comes down. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. That becomes a 5. That becomes negative 5. This becomes a 6. And then that becomes a negative 6, and we have a remainder of 0. And so now we can count backwards. X to the 0, x to the 1, x to the 2nd. So x to the 1, x to the 2nd. That leaves us with x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now we can factor. So 6 there, because 6 times 1 is 6. And then 5 here. 2 numbers that multiply to give me a 6, and then add or subtract to give me a negative 5. I have a 3 and a 2. So I have my factors of x plus 3, x plus 2. We know we should have 4 factors, right? And we have x plus 3, x plus 2, and then the ones that they already gave us, x minus 3, x plus 1. So we'll just write those down there with it. X minus 3, x plus 1. And then here is your factors. If you need the zeros, obviously you set all of those equal to 0 and solve it. And so you know it would just be the opposite. So we'd have a positive 3, a negative 3, a negative 2, and a negative 1 would be the zeros. All right, that's everything you need to know how to do in order to solve the rest of these. All right, so wanted to add the short video so you know how to do these. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Wait, actually, let me show you how to graph this too, because graphing is part of this. Hopefully you haven't ended the video already. I'm still working on number 3. All right. So I'm going to take these. I know I'm going to have a 0 of -3. I'm going to have a 0 of +3, 0 of -1, and 0 of -2. That's taking all these, setting them equal to 0 and solving it. I just said it. So now we have our graph. Doesn't say to graph this one, I don't think, but this is just to show you how to graph the other ones. All right, so we have a point at 3, point at -1, -2, and -3. So we know it is an even function, and so we know the side should be up, up. We know our y-intercept is at -18. Let's just say -18 is way down here. We know the scale's a little off. But anyways, we know it's even, so we know it's up, up. So left side up, right side up. And so we know we should be doing down, up, down, up. All right. And so roughly you'd have a graph that looked somewhere similar to that. And that's how you graph. All right. And now we're officially done. Again, let me know if you have any questions.